At Arix AS, we trade and check hops, but we're more than just traders. We grow our own hops in large quantities. We have capital links with PP Service AS, whose farms produce the largest amount of hops in all of Europe. Also linked to our company through capital is Tufa SRO. Additionally, we purchase hops from more than 30 independent growers. Hops have been cultivated here in Bohemia since the 12th century. Hops were actually being exported from this area already in the Middle Ages to destinations such as Hamburg. At the time, the hop plant grew here in monastic hop gardens, behind the city walls and in backyards. Hops growing gradually took root near the Czech towns of Žatec and Uštěk and Tršice in Moravia. Among these primary towns, it is Žatec that holds the most privileged status. The first written records of the city already mention growing hops and brewing beer. Žatec and hops have gone together since time immemorial. This is because here, the hop plant has the best conditions for growth and a unique character. From long ago, hops have been grown in the localities of Udle Zlatého Potoka and Podlesí. Their soil gives these areas a great reputation. It is called Permian red and is formed from old sediments from the watershed of the Ohře and Břanka rivers and from the watershed of Zlatý Potok itself. One other factor contributes to the uniqueness of the area with regards to hops growing: low rainfall. The Žatec hop growing area is situated in the rain shadow of the Krušné hory mountains. This is the area with the least rainfall of the entire Czech Republic, receiving only between 700 to 800 millimeters of rainfall annually. These conditions are ideal for the aromatic hop varieties full of fragrant resins that grow only in the Czech Republic. PP Service AS grows hops for us on a total of 387 hectares in the Žatec region. This is an area the size of more than 600 football fields. Approximately 75% of this area is used for growing the renowned Czech Saz variety. Saz is something like the Rolls-Royce among hop varieties and is intended solely for cooking lager. On the remaining area, we grow Sladek, Premiant, and Agnus varieties. We also test new varieties with other designations: Kazbek, Saz Late, Vital, and some of them we try to implement into brewing. The costs of building a single hectare of hop fields amounts to about 1 million crowns, somewhere around 40,000 euros. Hops gardens are planted in blocks. During good weather, a single block takes at least 2 months to build. Each fluctuation in the weather during this period greatly extends the time needed. The construction of a hops garden employs a group of 6 people and a few machines. Each hectare has nearly 150 columns, 115 internal with a height of 7.5 meters and 33 frame columns with a height of 8 meters. These are interconnected with a net of wires having a diameter from 4 to 12.5 millimeters in a total length of 11 kilometers. The hops grower's year begins in the spring with the cutting of hops, planting, and introducing of the strongest plants. On the cusp of spring and summer, we then make the first prognosis of the size of the harvest, and shortly before the harvest, of its alpha acid content. We carefully monitor the climatic conditions, development of vegetation, and concentration of agricultural chemicals. The substances used for chemical treatment are specified by a special commission under very strict rules. Protecting the hops and the future harvest from a hop aphid, red spider mite, fungal and mold diseases related to changes in weather are virtual alchemy. We perform the last spraying at the beginning of the second half of July, so that by the time of harvest, the hops will have no traces of the sprays and will be clean. An independent laboratory performs testing for residues of agricultural chemicals. The harvest is the culmination of the growing year. The hops plants are taken down, picked, and the hops buds are immediately dried. The quality of the equipment used during the harvest has a big impact of the resulting quality of the hops. Traditional drying with a high share of manual labor takes place in the drying chambers. This is followed by modern controlled and faster drying in the conveyor dryer room. Precise post-harvest records enable us to retrospectively search for each lot of hops. Based on the requirements of our business partners, we press the hops into square beams or process it into pellets, consisting of 90 or 45 type granulate. Processing takes place exclusively in the Czech Republic. Government control here is stricter than in other EU countries. This also contributed to the European Union's recognition in 2007 of the trademark Žatec origin hops for the Žatec Saz hops grown and processed in the Žatec hops region. We keep the hops we produce in the form of so-called farmer's beams, which is pressed but not yet processed. We also store processed hops and foreign production hops. For storage, we use an air-conditioned storage warehouse with a capacity of almost 1,100 tons. In this warehouse, we maintain a low and constant temperature of 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, which ensures that raw hops maintain optimum value of alpha bitter acids and other substances valued in brewing. We constantly monitor temperature and regularly sample and analyze the hops. From the perspective of hops, the most important phase of beer brewing is the so-called hopping. Beer is hopped for an hour and a half. Usually, bitter varieties are added first, and then varieties with aromatic bitter substances, and finally, aromatic, smooth hops. Žatec Saz hops beautifully rounds out the taste of beer. The exceptional taste of your beer is born with us. We are linked with important growers of Czech hops. We have the financial infrastructure and many years of experience with growing, along with personal contacts. This enables Arix to supply 100% first-rate hops to our business partners, the foremost breweries in the world. That you can rely on.